Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world or in your day. This is the What You Know About It podcast. It's Ra with my co-host as always, the Panic Hispanic himself. Look at him blush, ladies and gentlemen. Edgar. What's going on, man?
We need to start like figuring out how to add sound effects. I need like a drum roll before you do that now.
Man, hey, it is 2020. We could do that. Don't make me, man. I will change it every time and dedicate that kind of time to like making it fresh every week.
Yeah. Oh God, life is good right now, Raw. Life is not bad. I earned myself an extra day off at work.
Okay.
Because we finished our inventory process a day early.
Okay.
So today is my unexpected day off, which is nice.
Ooh.
But also not nice because I really don't know what I'm doing with it besides this recording.
Yeah. Well, hey, sometimes that's all you need to recharge the battery, man.
Yeah, seriously.
Nothing planned. Something comes up. Cool. If it doesn't, then you can actually watch all those shows that you are slow on.
Oh,
and I got a long list for you, brother.
I know.
You know you could call me anytime and be like, Raw, give me a movie.
I'm working on it, Raw. So actually, we can right off the bat, we can start talking about that because I did just finish the 3rd episode of Daredevil. Wow. I cannot believe I slept on this show this long. Like, I'm so sorry to anybody out there that has ever suggested me watch this show, and I just took it for granted. I have my regular go-to comfort shows that I just love rewatching, and I just didn't try anything new for a long time.
See?
But 2020 has changed me, folks.
The Panic Hispanic has got to get out of his comfort zone, try new things.
But I don't want to.
It's the Corona that forced you into this. See, this is why Corona was good for you, bro.
Yeah, I know. I'm not complaining about 2020.
Just don't actually catch it.
Yeah. I didn't plan on 2020. I planned on 2020 being a good year, just not for the reasons that it has become a good year.
Yeah. I mean, there are blessings. There are definitely blessings. I'm pretty sure, minus the people, and I want to be respectful when I say this, minus the people that have gotten sick and had things happen, people that have lost their job and their wages and their benefits.
Yes.
People that have lost family members, which I am one of those people that have lost a distant family member. There have been pluses to life slowing down this year.
Yeah.
And so, if any at all, take those and cherish those. I know that's caused me to have a lot of time with my family and my friends. It's actually drawn Edgar and I closer. And now that we have this endeavor, and that's always a plus. Do what you can. And I've caught up on a lot of things that I did want to watch, right? And so for me, those are some of the small pluses in this tragedy. And that's what I was always taught to do. Take the negative, you're going to feel the pain of it, but try to find some understanding, trying to find parts to take with you to learn from it. I know some of my deepest, darkest moments in my life, moments where I think I was the biggest failure, great things have come from it for me.
I think that's been the rule that I've always lived by, which is just look at the brighter side. Anytime anything negative happens, just try to find the bright side to it. Something good is coming from it, whether you notice it or not right away.
Yep.
There will be a good that comes from anything that happens that's bad.
Yeah. Oftentimes, like when be honest with you, when I feel super defeated, and I can't see it, I always say, whatever's going to come good out of this, let me look for it. Let me find it. Show it to me because I need to get there so I don't sit in this, feeling too long.
Just fucking hit me with it already.
Yeah. I'm telling you, man. And I'll share a quick one with you guys. The whole way I was ever even able to go on a voiceover, I experienced a change of family circumstances that was very hard for me. And it kind of, what it did was, once I got over the pain and the hurt and everything I was feeling, and it didn't matter anymore whose fault it was or what was happening or whatever, I was actually able to then find myself all over again, find concentrate on the things that I liked and loved, and I had the free time to do it. And then when an opportunity came, I was able to walk through that door. Whereas before, I would have been restricted based on the way I was living my life previously.
Hmm.
And so that was that. Ever since that happened, that was definitely the icing on the cake for me. And I've just learned to do that. So that's kind of automatic for me at this point.
That's good.
Absolutely. So, man, we are roughly a day or two, uh, a week away from Halloween.
Yeah.
This will be for some of us, a very different Halloween,
Yeah, an extremely different Halloween.
a 2020 Halloween. Um, and there's been ups and downs about it. I know my
Yeah.
daughter has had a hard time, expressed a lot of concerns. And so those of us who have children, maybe check with your kids and make sure they're okay, because one of the things, my daughter's 11 years old, and one of the things that happened with her is she was concerned that, hey, I'm 11, I'm getting older. Halloween, she has no idea of how long Halloween is going to be a thing for her. She feels like she's in her twilight years of enjoying
Oh,
Halloween. So she
she's in
was
the
like, this is
transition.
probably
Yeah.
one of my last Halloweens, and I can't have it like I want to have it. We normally have it because Corona,
Yeah.
right? And so that's not necessarily true. We had a talk with her. I had a talk with her separately. Her mom had a talk with her separately. And we know that not to be true. And we're gonna try to do our best to enjoy Halloween as best we can. But I have a question for you.
Yeah.
At what age did you stop trick or treating and doing the kid stuff and start doing, I don't know, maybe more other things, or was trick or treating ever a thing for you?
Yeah. I mean, I definitely grew up trick or treating. That was a definite tradition for me. Oh God, I don't remember how old I was though. It was probably right before I became a teenager that I decided to stop. I definitely didn't trick or treat at 13.
Okay.
It was probably around 11 or 12 that I probably stopped.
Okay.
And it just turned into go with the family to take the kids that are still in the family to go trick or treating.
Okay.
So it's just kind of like the escort, like one of the escorts, because it'd always be like a family thing when we'd go around the neighborhoods and whatnot.
Gotcha.
How old were you when you stopped?
I don't quite remember. I know definitely by 13 I was not trick or treating. I can tell you that much. So maybe
That's
right
too
around
cool.
my daughter's age.
Yeah.
But for me, um, bless my mom's soul. She was one of those parents who, unfortunately for me, early 80s baby, that was around the time people was doing all kind of fuckery, putting razor blades
Uh,
in candy
yeah.
and shit like that and whatever. And a lot of those things were happening. A lot of those tragedies were happening. And so my mom just got scared and was like, nope, 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 nope. So,
Yeah.
the few times I did trick or treat, it was literally, I was only allowed to go to houses of people she already knew
Got it.
in the neighborhood. So that was like 6 houses,
Ugh.
couple cousins, family members, things like that, maybe included in that. But, and then, so it wasn't really that much trick or treating for me. I was allowed to dress up. I was allowed to walk around.
Yeah.
And then we just kind of really didn't. The most I dressed up is sometimes, for school.
Yeah.
You go to school dressed up, and then they have like a costume
A
contest.
parade kind of thing.
Parade, yeah, that
Yeah.
sort of thing. So that was kind of it. And so I think about my daughter's age, I was done, and after that, it was hang out with friends and cousins. And if
Mhm.
we weren't walking around kids, we were just hanging out, having some food, kind of watch everybody else kind of do their thing.
Yeah.
And that was kind of it, man. So, yeah.
It's interesting the transition that you make when you think about Halloween. Like as a kid, you get so excited about the candy. It's all about the candy. It's all about going around house to house.
Mhm.
And I remember like knowing that as a kid, like I knew we have to go to like the rich neighborhoods, mom. Like those are the neighborhoods where they give out like the good
The
candy.
king size
Not like
candy bars and shit. Yep.
yeah. a
Hmm.
real, just like the real size candy bars and stuff. Like we have to go to the rich neighborhoods, and that's like where like I learned that hack at a
Hmm.
very young age. And then
Wow.
you start thinking about the transition, like where you become a teenager and it turns into like that hanging out with friends,
Hmm.
and you're not really dressing up anymore because it's so not
Some
cool
people dress
anymore.
up, some people don't, but you're still all there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's usually the girls that like to dress up still.
Hmm.
But you're just kind of like all hanging out. But then you hit another transition where you end up dressing up again, and it's still hanging out with friends, but it really is about getting dressed up all over again.
Right. Right.
And the candy is now alcohol.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, I think it's an adventure to each individual, and some
Yeah.
people they do it longer than others or whatever, which is kind of what I told my daughter. I was like, "Hey, I don't know if this is going to be the last year you want to dress up or not. Or, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But it's going to change every year, just like it's been changing every
Mhm.
year since you were a kid.
Yeah.
Have you noticed every year, like you went from wanting to be a princess to you were an Avenger
Yeah.
to you were a Wonder Woman. You know what I mean? Like it's changed now. I mean, last year she did Harry Potter. She was Hermione from Harry
Oh,
Potter.
nice.
So I was like, your maturity is changing, right? Like, what if I told you to dress up as a princess this year? Would you be okay with that? She said, no. So okay. So every year you're gonna do something different. So let's just ride with it. So I don't,
That's cool.
but yeah, that's kind of how we attack that. So I don't know
What
what
about your
other,
son?
huh? My son, he's
What about your son?
that motherfucker, man. He is. I wish I could live life like him.
Yeah.
I really do. That dude is oblivious. He knows everything, but very little concerns him.
Okay.
He's like, yo, am I getting my cheese sandwich, Dad? Can I play on the Xbox, Dad? We good. That's it. That's it. Hey, Dad, we gonna get some kind of candy on Halloween, right? Yeah, son, you gonna get candy. Don't worry about it. I was like, all right, cool, we good. That's all he care about.
Just as long as you give me a bag of candy, I'm
Yeah,
good.
he don't care how he gets the candy. Like if he gets to walk, if we walked around, did nothing, got in the car, went to Walgreens, I bought him some candy and came back, he would be
Okay.
okay. With the transaction going down exactly how I just said it. My daughter would be like, "This is whack."
I feel like
You know
your
what I
son
mean?
would make for a really good reaction video to that Jimmy Kimmel thing where he has parents go up to their kids the day after Halloween and tells them like, "Hey, so last night your dad and I we kind of stayed up and we ate all your candy." And then you just wait for the reaction. Like I feel like he would be primed for that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. My daughter at 11 would burst into tears.
Yeah.
She'd be like, "Seriously? You guys are horrible parents and blah, blah, blah," right? That would be her reaction.
Yeah.
My son would be like, "I can't believe you did that. So you're gonna replace it, right?
Yeah. Okay.
I'm getting candy though, right?" like he just wants to insure his bag. He's just good. He'll guess what happened.
Yeah, replace it. As long as you replace
Yeah.
it, I'm gonna close my eyes. When I
Yeah.
open them again, there better be a new bag of
Yeah,
candy in front of me.
yeah. If he gets the indication that it's not coming back, then he'll cry.
Yeah.
So, but that probably wouldn't be his first reaction. He'd probably be like, "Why? Like, where's my candy?"
Yeah.
It's funny.
That's always like my favorite reaction. Like I encourage anybody that's listening, if you guys have never looked it up, go on YouTube, look up Jimmy Kimmel Halloween videos,
Mhm.
and you'll see what I'm talking about. But the reaction where kids are like, "What? I worked so hard walking around to get all that candy, and you just decided to eat it all for yourself.
Right.
That's selfish."
Man,
Always my favorite.
every year, my kids tend to get a lot of candy. Usually,
Yeah.
we don't get like the pails, the Halloween pails. They usually take a sleep pillowcase.
Pillowcase. Nice.
And it's usually pretty full.
Yeah.
Usually. And so I usually end up taking about 70-80% of that candy, throwing it in a bowl, walking around the neighborhood and redistributing it to the kids that I still see.
Really?
walking. If you're out and about in South Orange County at about 9:00, you might find me.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm like, yo, hey, you don't got enough candy. Here, And they're
Yeah.
like, Mister, what's going on? Like, my kids can't have all this candy.
Yeah.
Like, I even had, I had this, one of those really big, uh, silver baking pans, like the huge one that
Yeah.
you do like pizza dough in. I had
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
full one of those, right? And we got back, and it was just, I was like, no, like, and they still had like a great amount of candy. Like, I'm talking about the amount of candy my kids still had. It still took them all the way to January to get through.
Oh my God.
So that's how much candy they still had. So I'm not being stingy with candy,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So I just was kind of like, I'm not taking my kids for a shitload of cavities to the dentist and shit like that. I'm getting rid of this shit, right? And then on top of that, let's be real, I'm gonna eat a lot of that shit if it's in the house.
Yep.
So I literally was like, okay. I walked outside. There was this family. It was a boy, their daughter, and the two parents. And I was like, y'all want this? And they kind of looked at me like, what's wrong with it? I'm like,
what'd you do with it?
I'm a parent. My kids can't have this shit. And they were like, okay, we'll take it. And they were quick with it. It's like, that makes sense.
Cool. That's because I was waiting to find out how people would react to that. Because if somebody came up to me and just went like, you want all this candy that I just have in this bowl right here that I'm walking around the neighborhood with? Like, why are you doing that?
Yeah,
like, I don't trust you at all.
I'm not dressed up. I'm not in the spirit. Nothing. They're like, yo, like, what's going on?
Yeah, there's a trick.
But yeah, like, I mean, I don't mind. I don't mind. Especially because I didn't do Halloween like that. So when it comes to kids, I like to let them have their fun.
Yeah.
Actually, last year, share a quick story with you. I decided I was just my kids were gonna trick or treat, and it was kind of like a little family affair. Their cousins came over, their mom, their aunt, and whatever was walking them around. I stayed home, just passing out candy.
Cool.
Right. So I stayed on the porch. I had my drink. I had a big old bowl, and it was like full to the brim, full of candy. And I had a take two sign on it, And, if it was like a little kid, I'm like, yo, take 3. I don't care. Like, yeah, man.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I like your little outfit, man. Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah.
Right. Man, I walked in the kitchen to refill my drink. Little motherfucker walked up and tried to take the whole bowl.
What the hell?
He walked up, and the bowl I got, I'm gonna have to show you a picture of it. It's a big, like, it's heavy. It, like, the bowl itself, empty, probably weighs like 5 pounds.
Okay.
It's really thick, right? Like, and I'm like,
then you got like 20 pounds of candy in there.
Yeah, and it's like full, and I'm like, and so I walked out slow and came out, and I'm like, and like, he was like just getting ready to step off my grass. I'm like, yo, you really gonna disrespect me like that? And he stopped. I'm like, turn around. I'm like, bring that bowl back here, man. And he came, little punk little kid, like probably like 16 with his girlfriend. He was walking around with his girlfriend.
Jesus
I'm like,
Christ.
man, it's your punk ass too old to be trick-or-treating. And he was like, I'm sorry, mister. I'm like, nah, man, I'm telling me I'm sorry. I was like, you see these little kids right here? These little kids, they was about to not get candy because your punk ass was going to take all this candy. I'm like, what's wrong with you? And he, I'm sorry, mister. It was a mistake. I'm like, man, come on, man. And he put it down. He started to walk away. I was like, hey, come back here. Take 2, motherfucker. And then he took 2. I was like, man, have a nice day. Make better decisions, dude. And then he walked off. And I was like, and then my neighbor was like, yo, like, why'd you give him 2 pieces of candy anyway? I'm like, I embarrassed him enough in front of his girlfriend. It's funny.
Yeah.
He's a kid. He's being stupid, but he just got to know. Think about other people, like all these other kids. These little kids, for the kids, like you a damn near grown man.
I did stupid stuff at 16. I mean, I can't hate on him too hard because it's like, I get it. You're trying to be cool in front of your girlfriend, trying to impress her.
Yeah.
Make her laugh, whatever. But yeah, that was just dumb.
Yeah. So it was really tough love, whatever. And I was a little aggressive with him, but I'm like, you got to learn, candy, man. You got to learn.
Giving out candy is probably like the one thing that I am looking forward to the most with like my future. One of the things that I'm looking forward to the most with Christy, like my future with her, living in our own place and then just sitting out on the porch and watching these little kids just come up, like all dressed up and like trying to figure out what they are or them telling us who they are. We did it the first year that she and I started dating. We weren't even dating yet. One of the first times we ever hung out was at our friend Sherry's house. And she and I decided we were like, let's just hang out. We'll just like hand out candy at the house and we'll just like watch kids dressed up or whatever. And it was so much fun. Like it was just cool to watch. And you would see like the older kids that came by and like they were just trying to get candy or whatever. And you'd be like, all right, here's your candy. Like,
okay, I'm gonna pick your brain here. I'm gonna pick your brain
go
here. You just let me into your world just a little bit so I can pick your brain. So when this happened, were you already interested in Miss Christie?
Very, very.
Was that part of the reason why you decided to hang out that evening?
Oh, very much. Yeah, very much.
That's what a clarity.
She knows this.
Okay.
She knows this.
I just wanted to know because I don't, free night. I was like, would Edgar really do that by himself?
Yeah. And that was like that was our first Halloween together without being together.
That's dope.
But now it's like, I don't know. I guess we kind of like attack it differently because, especially this year, like I have no idea what we're gonna do this year. But normally we'll get together at like at a friend's house and just do like a costume party kind of thing.
Yeah.
Last year was cool. We did. It wasn't even actually on Halloween, but we did go to Disneyland for. It's called the Oogie Boogie Bash, I think it's called.
Okay.
They do like a special Halloween event at night. Like you come in at 7 and it's over by like midnight.
Okay.
And they had these trick or treat trails and stuff. So she and I dressed up. I was Waldo and she was what was it? What's the girl's name? Wenda or something like that. Like the female Waldo.
I don't recall. I know you're talking about, but I don't recall the name.
So we dressed up. Everybody dresses up. Kids, adults, everybody. You show up and then you have these little trick or treat trails where they have like cool character like the villains from Disney classic movies. So like Oogie Boogie was in one of the rooms where you end up like trick or treating through. And then what's her name? Maleficent is at the end of another one.
Okay.
And the Mad Hatter is in another one. Like it's pretty good. It was really cool. And like it's like a walk by meet and greet. So you're just walking by and they like insult you or you talk to them, whatever. But they're so ridiculous. They gave us like these bags to collect candy in that were, no lie, probably like big enough to fit a kid's pair of shoes in. And you're like, what am I supposed to do with this? Like, there's no way. Like, you guys are going to give me way more candy than this. I'm supposed to start saying no. So I made sure to bring a backpack. And we just unloaded the bag every time into the backpack. And we just kept collecting candy until then. And that candy lasted us a good 6 months.
Wow. Yeah.
I might still have some, actually.
Oh, don't eat that. It's probably not good anymore.
I don't know. How processed is it,
Yeah. I mean, who knows? Yeah. You might want to check the date on some of those. I'm going to assume.
Yeah.
Okay. Man, it's kind of crazy how you meet and hang out with people and how every experience could be different. That's a dope story, man. And to see you guys still together to this day is, man, awesome.
Yeah.
Absolutely awesome. This year I think we're gonna try. I'm gonna do it with my kids. We'll try to trick or treat, stay local, walk around. Just try, if people got, candy that's kind of like in a bowl or something like that, stay away from crowds, that sort of thing. And just depending on,
I wouldn't trust the bowl though. The bowl, that's a lot of hands going in the bowl.
That's true too.
But I mean, I don't see the problem with like, going home and like not Febrezing, but like Lysoling all the candy. Like, what's wrong with that?
I mean, they're all in the package.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like if it's packaged, then I think it's actually safe, right?
Yeah. I mean, okay. Well, you can also take hand sanitizer with you, and
every house just kind of wipe.
Every house
really
kind of
quick.
just a little drop. Yeah.
I don't know, man.
I don't know. I mean, we're doing that at grocery stores anyway.
Yeah.
Right. Like, how much more of a risk is it actually? Like, I don't know.
I come home and put all my groceries. We have like a little, what do you call it? Like a cleaning station.
Okay.
In our house.
Okay.
So that when we get our groceries, we put them on the dirty table and then take everything out, put it on the dirty table, then spray it all down with Lysol or whatever we got.
But I thought we were like to an
down
understanding that this virus is not really passed through surfaces like that. It's more of a.
It's still a possibility, from my understanding.
Yeah.
It's less likely.
It's
to
less
be transferred
likely.
that way.
Yeah.
But at the grocery store, you know how people touch this, touch that one. No, I want the one.
Dude, I've seen people with gloves on and a mask, and then they're wearing the mask under their nose, and they have gloves on, and then yet they're touching their face, they're answering their phone, and then they're touching products. And I'm like, dude, like you just killed the whole reason why you would do any of those things.
Yep. Now you're just gonna have dry hands.
Yeah, like you might as well have walked in here with nothing on. You know,
Yep.
and people don't get it. You know, just like I see people with wearing a mask in the car and they're by themselves,
That's always great.
or you're outside by yourself, no one around you.
Yeah.
Like if you're in a parking lot, like if I'm in a parking lot and there's nobody walking to and from, I'm not 20 feet next to somebody, I'm not wearing a mask. The air
Yeah.
is not contagious.
Yeah.
You know, when I get into a common lobby or I'm walking in the store, or even if I'm in a parking lot and I see a bunch of people walking around, then I put my mask on.
Well, it's honestly more dangerous to wear the mask when there's nobody around. Just if the virus works, if the masks work the way that in my logic, like they work,
Uh-huh.
the virus is on the mask.
Right.
So if I have a way of lowering it, getting rid of it, then even better. Now it's nowhere near me.
Right.
But if for some reason it is floating in the air, it's caught up in that mask somewhere, and I don't want to touch it. I don't want it near my face.
Right. Right. I mean, you should be strategically wearing your mask, you know, not moving it all around and touching it
Yeah.
and whatever. But I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a specialist. That's just my take on it.
Yeah.
Teach your own. I mean, I went on a walk with my dad and he wore it the whole time. And I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell you're doing. You know, like we were, whatever.
I know we wanted to talk Halloween, but I did want to touch on two things. Did you watch the debate yesterday?
I did.
Was it as exciting as debate number 1?
No, it was not. It was a lot more civil.
Yeah. I asked because I didn't watch it live. I watched a little clip here and there, the recap of it.
Yeah.
And I seemed to see a lot less highlights from it.
Yeah, it was very
and the only reason
organized, and I think
the only reason the first one has so many highlights was just because of the nonsense that was going on.
yeah,
Like that was what they were playing really a lot of, which is the interruptions, the shut up man, that kind of thing.
yeah.
But this one is, I guess it must have gone normal because there just weren't that many highlights.
I mean, there were still things said that kind of like little PowerPoint, little jabs that they threw at
Yeah.
each other. That kind of was like, okay, but nothing happened for me that told me anything different about either candidate.
Did you change your vote?
I have not. I have
Yeah.
not. Actually, I was waiting for this debate to actually. That's the only thing I haven't done.
Fill out.
I haven't voted for the president of the United States. All my propositions
Everything
are
else is done.
everything. So it gave me zero clarity. Zero.
Yep.
I was hoping for something, but I mean, there were things like, you know, and it's all like throwing mud at each other type things. I mean, I heard things like,
Yeah.
you know, I don't make my money from China or Russia. You do. And then the other one will retort, I don't get my money from Russia or China. You do. You know,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, well, God damn it. Which one of you are getting money from Russia and China?
Yeah.
You know, it's
One
like,
of you is lying.
yeah, like it's all that stuff. And they just kept doing that. And then there was a Joe Biden, what did he say? He's like, he keeps bringing up all these other people. I beat all them. I'm Joe Biden. You're running against me. I'm Joe Biden. And I was just like, oh, all right. King Kong ass motherfucker. All right, I see.
I saw he was calling out him and his son about their things that dealt with the Ukraine or whatever.
Yeah.
And it just looked like it was going nowhere. I mean,
That's what I'm saying.
I think Donald Trump just needs like somebody in the room to like help back him up, like just like his hype man, like just be like, yeah.
Probably. But you know what? Like, you know, they spoke about a lot of different things, and I just kind of felt like some of the questions never really got answered. And they were both in very, like Trump was accusing Biden of being a politician, which he is. But he was also answering questions like a politician, Mr. Trump was. And, you know, for instance, there was a question to ask that is very particular to me because I'm African American and grew up in LA. When they said, hey, are you aware of, you know, the talk or, you know, what parents go through with their kids in terms of like how to respond to police activity, things like that. And, you know, what do you have to say about it? And I said, oh, good question. I want to hear how both these men answer these questions, because obviously not only being white men, but where they live, how they grew up, the way that they grew up, they would have no understanding of this. So I do want to hear this answer specifically, right?